Good morning,
Boogie.
Yeah, Mama.
Are you in love with mamas?
I am real in love with mamas.
Are you in love with them right there?
I'm real in love with my fans.
Fans? Boogie,
Yeah?
are you still planning on having a kissing booth?
Yeah, when mamas have a retreat, I'm going to make a kissing booth. And I'm going to raise money to help some people.
Wow.
You're so
You're
sweet.
going to use your power of love
You're so
to help
sweet.
other people through kissing booths.
Who wants to pay to go to the Boogie kissing booth? He said he's going to get a job, and that's his job.
To kiss everybody.
Yeah, to kiss everybody.
Wow. Woo! Let's say good morning, Jessica,
Andy, Jessica, Lauren, Stephanie, Tiffany, Lauren, Brittany, Kristen, Ashley, Shanette.
Shanette, that's a new name. Do us a favor,
don't
drop a
think it
comment. Tell us where you're from.
But it's a unique name.
Yes, I love it.
I mean, it's a, yeah. David, Stacy, where do you say Stacy? Veronica, Brogan, Joan Ellen. Wait, you're going so fast.
Regina, that's a new name. Drop a comment. Tell us where you're from.
Tina. This is a fun song.
Sarah.
Ashley. Where are you going?
What? Ashley.
Ashley.
We said hi to Stephanie, I'm pretty sure. Ivana, drop a comment. Tell us where you're from.
Megan. Tammy. Mandy. Where are you from?
Yeah.
Mandy's
Wow,
true.
lots of new people. Is that because it's Relationship
Tawny.
Thursday?
Chloe,
drop a comment. Tell us where you're from.
I think it's because Boogie's here and he said he's going to have a kissing booth. So they wanted to show up.
I love it. Okay, so I know what we're talking about, but I don't remember how you titled today's conversation.
I don't either.
How did we title today's conversation?
What does it say today? It says something about like relationship compatibility, I think.
Ooh. Okay, so here's the thing. For one, welcome to the show. Welcome, Mandy. For two, this is our first relationship talk. And
for three, we want to see you in the comments.
Yes. So if you're new to the show, for one, welcome. Do know that this community is very engaged. So we want to get to know you. Okay? Now, if you've been watching the show, then you already know what to do. Now, I want to get to know you guys from like a relationship standpoint, right? Because obviously as this show keeps growing and evolving, it's all about providing to you guys. So, I'm curious to know, like, currently, what is your relationship status? Are you single? Are you in a relationship? Are you married? Like, where are you at?
Is it complicated?
Yeah.
If you're a lesbian, you can just write, it's complicated.
Hey, don't generalize. Our relationship is not complicated.
Okay, something to know about Sarit and I. Americans use a lot of sarcasm. Sarit is a foreigner and does not quite understand and takes my jokes literally often. So, ha 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 ha, for all of you lesbians who chuckled when I said it's complicated. Single.
Okay.
Happily married.
Okay, so we got married, single, happily married, single.
BF, almost 5 years, single mama.
Relationship,
Single.
Relationship with my
flag football. It's complicated.
Single, and I do what I want to. Single.
You know what I used to say about being single?
What?
I can always say yes to me. It's great.
So I see that most of our community is currently single, right?
But in the case that you're married, you can stick around.
Yeah,
it's
no,
not just for the single ladies.
Yeah, it's not. It just we kind of want to know where you're at. So now this question goes out to our single folks. Would you guys, should the right person come, like, would you be interested in taking it to the next level? Or are you like...
Who's looking for a serious relationship? Is that what you're asking? Or who's like, eh?
Yeah, just your point, your point with regards to relationships. Like, are you seriously looking for a relationship, or are you focusing on you, and should the right person come, then you're gonna pursue it? Like, where are you at? Just want to know so that we can connect with you. The truth is that today's topic is going to really help everybody. Megan said yes.
Wait, but what? Yes to what now? Because we said a bunch of things. So, oops.
So are you single and just focusing on you, or are you single and actively pursuing a relationship, or are you single and you're kind of doing your own thing, but should the right person come, then you're gonna of course take up the opportunity? Which one of these three are you? This question goes out to our single people.
I want to also say something to Mandy's comment. She said, it's hard finding the right person who loves kids, respects you, as well as loves you as much as you love them. And I would say the best relationships are not found because you're not looking for them. They just happen. So stop looking.
But who knows if she's looking? Maybe she's just making a point. Yes, ready, but not in a rush. I'm seriously looking to be happy. Okay, Ashley, girlfriend, Miss Thing. Seriously looking to be happy starts from within. Just so you know.
I'm going to say one thing, because I think this about all relationships everywhere. And I think no matter what episode or topic we have on relationships, this is valid all the time. Is that if you are not in a good relationship with yourself, you will never be in a good relationship with somebody else, especially romantically.
Amen. And this is exactly why we added the relationship conversation to the show. Because your relationship with yourself, right, will reflect any other relationship in your life. It all starts and ends with you, and that's just the truth. Tiffany had her husband move here from England. I love it. Leanne, the latter, define that. Stacy focused on me.
The latter would be the last thing you said.
I don't even remember what it was. Focused on me and cool if the right person comes along. Nice. Working on me, but open to possibilities. Okay, cool. Single and focusing on me. If she fell on me, I won't be mad. If that means finding someone to start a family with, be happy, cool. If it means gonna be by myself, cool. Okay, got it.
That's a great place to be in, by the way.
Yeah. So I going into this without generalizing, I kind of thought so, right? Based off of, the kind of people that we attract, right? Like, you're very focused on your own self-development, and should the stars align, epic. If not, like, you're focusing on you. So it's like, that it's a matter of sooner rather than later, but in the meantime, it's like, let me fix my relationship with myself. Give me a thumbs up if you agree, just to make sure that we're all on the same page, and then we're gonna begin today's conversation.
Oh wow.
Read this loud so that anybody who's listening...
Oh, sorry. Veronica, after being widowed at age 29, talk about some life experience. I found a girlfriend and I'm wanting serious, I'm wanting serious because of my 3 kids, but girlfriend is sometimes in it and sometimes isn't.
Sure. Got it. Veronica, I can tell you that what you're doing for yourself right now is really, really, really going to help you evolve that relationship. Full disclaimer, you guys. Full disclaimer, we do not consider ourselves relationship experts. Know that. Okay? Know that. However, we are giving you advice based off of our own life experiences. Okay? When it comes to relationships, you know, when it comes to the mistakes, we will teach you we will talk about some of the mistakes that we've made in the past to make sure that you don't do that yourself, okay? The best students learn from other people's mistakes. They don't get themselves into these situations. Okay, however,
multiple times.
We would consider ourselves to be extremely happy together. And I think that most of you guys are in this community probably because you know, this is not to toot our horn, but you know that we have like a deep, loving relationship and it's authentic. And of course, you guys are growing with us. Like we are inviting you to be a part of it because great things are meant to be shared. Okay.
We know that we have a very unique relationship that
Yes.
is very rare.
Yes.
Because oftentimes when we watch other people and how they communicate with one another, being in a relationship, it's more like a relationship.
Yeah.
And most of the time it's because you're not happy with yourself. Generally speaking. Because if you have things unresolved within you, it's going to show up and be exposed with another person.
Yeah.
When it's not necessarily that person's junk in the trunk.
Yeah.
Right? But then they have their own. And if we have the ability to work through those with the hardest person in the world, ourselves, then we can be good in a partnership.
Yeah. You know, I believe that deep down, one of the reasons why most people seek weight loss, right? Though 99% of the people don't actually know why they're doing it, right? They haven't found their why. But 99% of the time, it's because we're seeking to be loved more. However, in your journey of weight loss, should you do it right, you're going to find self-love. And when you find self-love, then you will also provide yourself the opportunity of so many other kinds of love. Okay? However, love starts from within. Okay? So today we're going to talk about the 4 stages of relationships. This is going to be kind of a note-taking session. So if you're really into that, please go ahead, take some notes. If you take notes, you're 90% more likely to retain the information that you do receive. So, you know, stage number 1, right, is probably the stage that most of you guys in the room are looking for, considering the fact that most of you guys are currently single, right? And it's the stage of admiration, right? So like
infatuation.
So like when I'm gonna give you examples, I'm gonna give you examples based off of my own life experience with Erin. So like for example, the day that Erin and I met, as soon as I, you know, opened the door to this event that I was in, like she literally caught my eye and like stole my heart. I don't even know how that happened. Like
swag.
Yeah, definitely. But you know, like, how do you say it? I was admired. No, she was admired. Yeah, she captivated me, right? So that's the first step. You want to make sure that like you have those feelings towards that someone, right? Do you have anything else to add to that?
I mean, I didn't see you when you walked in. You saw me. But I'm trying to think from my point of view in that same situation, it's also an energy exchange. Yeah, like you need to like that person, right? Like they have to look good, like they have to attract you. It's also very easy to become infatuated, or what was the other word that you used? It's like surface.
On the surface
It's
at
like
the beginning.
Surface interest.
Yeah.
right? Because of what somebody looks like, the energy that they give out to you, you know, your preferences and whether or not you're attracted to that person. And so everything from the beginning is very surface, like you don't know them yet.
Yeah, yeah. So you have to be attracted to them, right? Like that's how they draw you in, right? Whether it's like their eyes, their body, the whole package. In her case, it was like everything, right? So like for us, my step one was, you know, there was an attraction. Like obviously out of all the people in the room, like I walked in, like I was just drawn to her. Like I don't even know what it is. I was magnetized, right? Okay. However, step two, let's say out of the two of us, if I was the only one who was attracted to her, right? And she was not attracted to me, do you think we were able to pursue it any further? The answer is no. Right? So step two.
So it's a mutual attraction.
Right. So step number two is mutual admiration. Right? So mutual admiration is basically, you know, the agreement that both parties are attracted to one another. Okay? So basically that provides you the opportunity to either like hook up with them, get into a relationship with them, right? Like we're both basically on the same page, right?
I call it cramming.
Yeah. Now, if you're a lesbian, you'll go from step 2 to step 3 probably within 5 minutes. But you know.
Wait, what's step 4? Maybe I want that one.
Step 4 is what everybody wants,
okay.
But it's gonna. But you know, if you're not, then you know it might take a couple of days or weeks or maybe even months. But you know, going from the first step to the second step is much quicker than going from the second to the third, and going from the third to the fourth takes more time. So like the higher up you go in the hierarchy of stages, right? The more time investment goes into it. Okay, so step number 3 is, okay, like I like Erin, she liked me, right? So like for example, Erin and I met in Miami. Neither of us have lived there, right? However, we really liked each other. Okay, so what we needed to do was we needed to commit to one another, right?
They're talking about U-Hauls.
Right. So we needed to commit.
We'll get there.
So we needed to commit to one another. And now commitment means that there is a mutual attraction along with a complete level of readiness. This is something that a lot of women struggle with. If you don't have your boundaries set, then things are going to start getting sticky at stage 3, and that could block you from ever getting into a really good relationship. If you let the other person lead you around, right, when there is no commitment. I know that I was stuck in a situation like that in my previous relationships, not all of them, but at least one, right? And, you know, if you're the kind of person who's like, man, I've been seeing this someone who's kind of been treating me like shit, but we've been hooking up for a while, this is when you need to start paying attention, because you're actually blocking yourself of greatness due to the fact that you haven't defined your own boundaries. Okay, so if you haven't defined your own boundaries, Andrea, not gonna lie, as I'm saying it, I was thinking about you. But if you haven't defined your own boundaries, right, then you're going to always be led by somebody else's rules. Who wants that shit? Fuck that, to be tossed around on somebody else's finger. I don't know about you, but I don't want that. So anyways, you know, both parties need to have a certain level of readiness. In fact, both parties have to be ready.
What does it mean to be ready? That could be another episode.
True, but like readiness means that like, look, like,
I want this.
I want this. I'm clear about it. Like, I'm committed to you. Like, there's nobody else that I'm going to seek out. Like, you and I are in a relationship. Basically, like, formalizing it.
Will you go out with me?
Yeah. Yeah.
That's what the kids say in high school.
Right.
Will you go out with me? One time I said that to my dad. Can I go out with whatever his name was? He's like, what does that mean? Go out where?
I remember when you wrote me a card and you said, will you be my girlfriend? Do you remember that? I said.
No, but I'm not surprised.
I remember that.
I've written
had me check it off.
But I've written you a lot of cards, so.
Yes. We really love writing
to
to each other cards and notes and all these things. But anyways, so both parties have to be ready, okay? If one party is not, then you're already blocking yourself at step 2 when you know that you've, like, a really solid relationship has made it to step 4. So, step 2 is sub-average. Step 3 is average. Superior is step 4, okay? And that is not just the fact that, you like them, they like you back. You're both completely committed to one another. And now when it comes to commitment, right? Like, I want you to think about it as a long-term game. Just because you're married to someone doesn't mean you are committed, baby. Just being real, okay? And I'm not calling out anybody, but a lot of people, right, on paper are committed, but in their heart and in their lives, they're not, because they're flirting with other people, they're texting other boys or girls, they're trying to get attention from other people. If you're like that, then guess what? You're seeking a step 1 from somebody else. You ain't committed, brah. Right.
Veronica says, I'm a teacher now, they just say bae, and they're apparently together.
Aww.
Josie, I know the song. Do you love me? Do you wanna be my friend? And if you do, well then don't be afraid to take me by the hand. If it's something, I think this is how love goes. Check yes or no. I'm not the greatest singer, but that was fun.
Okay, so let's get to step 4. Okay, so most people in the world will get to step 3, and then things will start getting shady, right? Because for one, there's a difference between being in a relationship, being married, and being happily married. Okay, now step 4 is being a power couple. Now, what makes a power couple and a happy couple different? A power couple is on the same mission for greater things together.
Power couple means one person has really massive biceps and one person has shredded quads. Pretty much.
Basically, like if you put somebody else's top with the other person's bottom, they make a great beam. Yeah, but I said it's weird, but you guys are used to it by now. So step 4 is being a power couple. And what does that mean? Being a power couple means that, both parties are on a mission for something that's bigger than themselves. Okay? So I consider myself extremely fortunate, right? Like, I've been in previous relationships in the past, and for one, I made it to step 3, right? But I fucked that up too, honestly.
Wait, what's step 3?
Commitment. Like verbally, I was committed, but wholeheartedly, I wasn't. Because I was still seeking validation from other people. But that's because I wasn't fully complete with myself. Now, the reason why we started,
When was that? That was before me, yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Now, the reason why we wanted to start having these conversations with you guys is because we noticed that, a lot of our clients have started, telling us their, relationship, I don't want to say struggles, right? But it's in full alignment with regards to your own journey of self-love with yourself. So sustainable weight loss is a journey of self-love. Okay, if you haven't mastered self-love with yourself, you're going to struggle when you bring another party in, right? Because a power couple is it's a unit. But if one pillar of the unit is not complete, and you bring another pillar to the unit, guess what? Shaky foundation with an added pillar, it's only going to be more shaky, right? So like it's, the principles are super intertwined, right? But
I think it's also a matter of, like, when I think power couple, I think two people on the same mission working as a team together. Like, when I think of power couple, I think of, like, for one, you have to want the same things. For two, you have to complement one another. And then you also have to work together, not just as a within a romantic relationship setting, but other settings.
As
It's
a
like
team.
no matter what setting you're in, you're both going to attack to dominate.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I realized that on these episodes, I could imagine them getting pretty cheesy, and then people being like, ugh.
Yeah, and you guys are probably gonna get to learn a different side of us, because I mean, we're gonna be unfiltered. We are unfiltered, but you know, truthfully, the reason why we feel confident teaching you guys these things, though, like I said before, we are not relationship experts, but our relationship is so freaking solid. It is, and I take so much pride in our relationship, because honestly, like, the day that I met Erin, my life has completely changed in the sense that she brought out a different side of me that I never knew I had.
So when people say, or there's love songs, or, you get like Valentine's Day cards and shit says like, oh, you complete me or whatever, like, in the literal sense of that is, I believe, what we've experienced.
Yes.
Because the complementary attributes that we have to one another, it's like, when you find your other person, do they complement you and actually make you better? Like, I'm inspired by Sarit all the time. I'm motivated by her all the time, because I don't want to shit the bed, because I don't want to be a disappointment. Mm-hmm. So I am going to do everything in my power to level up constantly. And I think that because I'm doing that, it's then reciprocated. It's like, shit, like, we got things to do, and, wanting to be the best we can be for that person, I think is a very beautiful place to live in, is to consider the other within considering yourself.
Yeah. Now, I want to add something. Please note that you don't have, like, if you talk about happiness within a relationship, like, you don't have to get to the position of being a power couple in order to be happy. Okay? It's just that, power couples are not as common to find, because it's a deeper soulful relationship. It really is, because it is no longer just about you as a unit. It's about you as a unit, like, making a bigger impact on the world. The person that I think about when I think about a power couple. By the way, drop a comment, tell us yes or no if you think that we are a power couple. I would really like to know. And by the way, we're not going to get offended.
I was wondering, because I was thinking myself too, when I think of power couple, like, who do I think of? And then some names came to mind, and I was like,
who came to you?
Well, then I was questioning it, because I'm not sure, because then in my mind I was thinking, does power couple mean you never struggle? No. If you are in a partnership or a relationship with somebody else, you're different people. There's going to be disagreements. You're not going to see eye to eye sometimes. You're going to have misunderstandings. If you heard the misunderstandings that we had in the way that we speak with each other.
You guys heard us do it live. I think you did that to me yesterday.
Yeah, we've done it on here live before, where it's like, no, I'm going to call you out on your shit. And But here's the thing. I'm not afraid to do that because I also know she is fine within herself that she's not going to take shit personally. So I can say, hey, you did this and it made me feel like this, or, you know, when you do this, it's frustrating, blah, blah, blah. I know that she's not going to go like run away crying and be like, you totally hurt my feelings, and like make some shit of it. Right? Or like, then I become the bad guy. She's like, okay. And she'll look within and be like, okay, like, where is this valid and how can I be better? And that is how you maintain a relationship within differences. So I don't mean with indifference. I mean, within your differences. So, power couple. The first couple that came to mind was Ellen and Portia.
Oh, so good.
Ellen and Portia.
So
right?
good.
They're both just dominating their worlds and maybe not doing the same exact thing. My hair is going crazy today. I'm just going to leave it and there. Oh my gosh, it's everywhere. Okay. Good thing we're getting our hair done. All right.
Yeah.
Anyways, it's been quarantine.
Can you guys tell that we both need a haircut? It's coming in a couple of days.
Okay, so they're doing different things, but they are dominating, like,
together as a unit. They're serving a bigger purpose.
The reason you know who they are is because they're a power couple. You don't know who somebody is without knowing who they are. It's called fame. Nobody becomes famous by accident.
Right.
Nobody gets very well known because they didn't put in effort to dominate what they're doing.
Yeah.
So when we say we're on a mission to change the lives of millions, it's going to happen. You guys know us now, and it's in the thousands, which is great, but millions, hundreds of millions. You don't get there by accident, and I feel incredibly, incredibly fortunate because, I believe that luck is created. However, I do believe that there is such thing as being in the right place at the right time, which is exactly what happened with us. And I also don't believe that anything happens by accident. Like, everything has a purpose. However, I really truly believe that we were brought together so that we could change your life. Like, this girl has all of these qualities and these things, and yeah, she has some shit she needs to work on. And then this one has her qualities and her things and her shit that she needs to work on. But if we put them together and know that they're going to work on their shit, they're going to help so many fucking people. It's insane. And so that, I think, is power couple. When you are just out to dominate, but then the way that you work in your own personal relationship is just the way that you treat all the other people that you're helping in the world.
Yeah. Drop a comment and tell us who is the first power couple you think about when we say the word power couple.
You do not have to say us.
Andrea Ramos said the Obamas, which is totally true.
Absolutely.
Totally true.
Absolutely.
I freaking love it. So now here's the thing, you guys. Before we close this up, just a couple of points. For one, you don't have to be in stage 4 in order for you to find fulfillment and happiness. In fact, you can be okay in stage 1, but in order for you to make it through the steps, the most important thing is the fact that you need to gain control over your relationship with yourself. It all begins with self-love. Erin and I constantly talk about it. If we were to meet one another, like when we were doing
a couple months
when
earlier.
we were putting the photos for the webinar together, you guys, and I was like, baby, would you date that? And we were like, well, there's no way in hell. Like, had we met each other, like even like a year or two beforehand, there's no way in hell that we would have wanted.
We wouldn't have liked each other.
No way. Absolutely. But, it all begins and ends with self-love because that is your foundation. Okay, so do know that. Okay, also, should you strive to be a power couple? In my opinion, for as long as you are a high performer, you will probably want to. Yeah.
That's how it will just evolve.
Because you believe that will make you feel more fulfilled when somebody's in the same mission as you, right? However, go ahead.
There is a question though in regards to that where Rachel said, when you say you have to want the same things, what type of things do you mean? Now, that doesn't mean that like you both have to, like Sarit and I, we happen to both want to transform the fitness and nutrition and wellness industry. And everything surrounding like diets and everything inconsistent, right? Now, that doesn't mean that you and your person have to want the exact same thing in life, but you do have to align in the degree in which you want to help other people or help yourselves or what you want to do. Let's say one of you wants to travel all the time and then the other one doesn't. How's that going to work?
Right.
You know, you have to
be on the same page.
You have to be on the same page.
Of things.
Right? Portia's an actress. Ellen DeGeneres does a daytime TV show. She's a comedian. Right? So it's like they're both in the same industry, but they do different stuff. Right? So
like when Obama was the president, Michelle, you know, like she was supporting his mission. Right? And like it doesn't mean that you guys have to be in the same industry or anything, but you have to be on the same page when it comes to the grand scheme of things.
Yeah.
Right? Because otherwise you're always going to hit roadblocks. Always. And it's not going to be in alignment.
They think we're a power couple.
Oh, I love it. So you need to ask yourself, you know, whether you're currently, you know, in a relationship, married or single, like knowing that there's 4 stages to a relationship. Which relationship do you strive to be in? That's number 1. And the question is, who do you need to be in order to attract that person? Who do you need to be? Because you need to focus on you, right? I think that a lot of relationships fail because what you give is what you get. And relationships fail because everybody expects to receive, right? But not everybody is upholding the standard to give.
Yeah.
Right? And we see so many women, like, oh my gosh, all the time. You didn't do this, you did that. It's like you're so focusing, you're so fixated on you receiving instead of you giving that you're actually blocking yourself.
Where did I just read this? Andy, also compromise. 100%.
Yeah.
100%. 2 people, no matter what, coming together, have their differences. Things get complicated. You have to be willing to sacrifice. Now, if the sacrifice, I think this is a big deal. If the sacrifice is too big for you, and that sacrifice is worse than, okay, my ex-husband said this to me one time. I don't remember how he said it exactly, but this was the concept. If you have a problem within a relationship, you have to want the person enough to go through the hell of solving the problems.
Okay, say it again.
If you have issues in a relationship, you have to want to be with that person bad enough to go through the shitstorm that is required to fix the issues.
Yep.
Because there are often times where there are shitstorms. And if you don't love that person enough to go through the pain of healing all of that, you shouldn't be with them. And now that might sound harsh, but if you're like, yeah, you know, actually, like going through all of this just sounds like worse than, like I don't want to do that more. How do I say this? Like, I don't want to be with you enough to experience the hell to fix us.
I want to say something that I think I see as a general problem that women have, because women, we have this maternal instinct and we're such givers. And if we don't know ourselves enough, we end up being unhappy in a relationship because we are sacrificing continuously for somebody without giving us a stop sign.
We don't know, if we don't know what we want, either we can't express and then we don't feel fulfilled.
That is a big problem that I see with so many women all around the world. And that's why, you guys, it always begins and ends with you. Because if you are frustrated with your husband or wife, okay, because you guys don't see things on the same page and you constantly keep on sacrificing things to them, but you don't know how to communicate it to them, it is actually your fault. It is. And I see it with a lot of women. They just let it slide by, and they're unhappy, and then they have this anger built in,
the storm
and
brews.
resentment, and then all it takes is that for them to put the cup on the right side of the sink instead of the left, and then there is like a 1 week argument, because deep down they're truly not speaking up for themselves. So, you know, it all starts and it all ends with you. You have to figure out for yourself, what kind of relationship do you want to be in? Honestly, I'm super lucky because, to be honest, when I was single and I got myself to a point where I swore myself off of any woman until I met the right one, and then I met you. No joke. So lucky because it happened relatively quickly, right? However, had I had a show like this that would have taught me like all these steps so that I can kind of like create it, it would have been amazing. But however, nothing in life happens by accident.
You want to get really vulnerable?
What?
Not vulnerable, but just transparent, and tell them what your strategy was?
Stop.
I totally put you on the spot.
That's okay. I will share it with you guys. So you guys are ready to laugh. I hope you are. So this is pretty vulnerable, but here's the thing.
Look, but look, I think you'll understand. You'll get it.
So back in the day when I was single, I used to have this thing, right? I used to be a womanizer in the sense that I used to get the high of knowing that I conquered women. I literally made a competition with myself, right?
That's the Sarit I would not have liked.
Right, absolutely not. So here was my thing, unless I was super clean and shaven, I would never feel confident to conquer a woman. Kind of like just like if you're not happy about your body, you're not gonna pursue somebody. However, my body was on point, right? I was kind of a dick back then, and I knew that I could kind of get any woman that I wanted, really. So whenever I was ready for it, I would just shave, and I was like, okay, game time, pursue, do whatever you want, and scored. But the day that I met Erin, because I've sworn myself off of women, I'm like, to make sure that I don't go back to my old ways, I had to reframe the situation. I'm like, I'ma just, keep my shit locked up, right? Because knowing me and the environment that I was in, I was like, I would want to go back to my old ways. It's kind of like when you just started your weight loss journey and you know that pizza is a weakness of yours and you haven't had enough time to practice discipline with regards for it, you struggle with it. For me too. It's I was in an environment where I knew that there were a lot of women who would be exactly my type of women, right? So my old habits would make me want to conquer each and every one of them, right? However, I was no longer at that mental state in my life where I care to conquer it, but rather I care to do things right, to feel fulfilled. So the day that I met Erin, actually, I was completely caught off guard because I told myself, unless it's the right one, for that event specifically, I did not shave, right? But then we ended up going back to her hotel room, and this is something that I don't do either. I never borrow other people's razors. But then she's like, we got back to her hotel room. I'm like, all right, I'm gonna hop in the shower real quick, because I gotta get myself ready, because this time I know that like it's going to be more than a conquer. It's going to be amazing. And it was amazing, and you guys just got super like deep into a relationship, whatever. I don't even care. But literally
when two people love each other very much.
So here's the thing, you guys, like this is why I always say how you do anything is how you do everything. Like whether it's your weakness for pizza, your weakness for women, like nobody's fucking perfect and we're all on the journey. But you have to, you know, take the time to think about what you want.
Shut up.
So really that is that is the purpose. That is the purpose of the relationship conversations, to give you guys clarity with regards to what you want out of your relationship, to make you think bigger. And trust me when I say this, like you are capable of achieving anything that you want and more. But first, you have to start with yourself. You guys are
gonna learn a lot about us, I have a feeling.
Yeah,
on Thursdays. It's amazing.
Thursdays are gonna have 100 people.
Somebody's gonna talk about someone shaving something. Remember when I used to help you shave your armpits?
Yes.
Because she's so jacked. And you get that little, like, when she has like an indent right here, and so she gets like really long hairs. It's pretty funny. Anyways, I'll help her shave her armpits.
Talk about all of my imperfections. Shit. You guys.
Okay, so yes, start with you, and when you meet somebody, you know, you either have or you don't have a natural admiration. Now, whether or not it's mutual, I think is something that we intuitively can figure out. But then it's a matter of, when I go the next step forward, I gotta be honest with who I am from day one.
Mm-hmm. But here's the thing, and this is why it's so aligned with weight loss, because if you keep telling yourself, okay, today I'm going to be good, and then you end up fucking up, it's not going to happen, because you have no integrity with yourself. And that's why everybody needs to gain the right tools so that they can actually uphold to their standards.
I'm going to say one thing that's going to help you tremendously. If you're not yet in a relationship, if you're in a relationship, depending on how long you've been in a relationship, I mean, the longer you're in a relationship, the harder it is to change anything. Because you're in routine and...
habits.
Right. So,
habits.
When you are entering a relationship or going on a date or whatever, this is important for anybody, but especially for those in the beginning, is if you are truly honest with who you are and unapologetic about that, you're going to find out if that person wants to stick around or not. Now, I'm not saying if, you know, you're a messy person, like don't clean your house up when somebody's going to come over. I'm not saying if you're like lazy to then all of a sudden become like super, or to show them, you know, that like, oh, you have to do all the work or whatever. We always want to put our best foot forward, right? We always want to make a good first impression, and I think that's good. However, there's a difference between a good first impression and being somebody different. Because if you're not who you are in the beginning and you lead that person to believe that that's not who, that is who you are, and then when you're with them constantly and you're fighting to try to be this person you're not, when you know there's a person inside that you are, or you transition from the person you pretended to be to the person you really are, they might not like that person that you really are. And then you have a shitstorm. Mm-hmm. And we wonder why we struggle in relationships. Oh my God, well, you didn't used to do that when we first started dating, or were you used to do this when we first started dating? That's because I used to be pretending to not be who I am. Or shit just gets mundane and you don't spice it up. Like when you're in a relationship for years, like we've been together now for 4.5 years.
Uh-huh.
So when you're with somebody for that long or 10 years or however long, it's really easy to just get caught in daily life, especially if you have kids. But it is very important. We're talking about so many different things. I don't know how to do these relationship topics and stick to one topic. But
we do that all the time.
When you are in a long-term relationship, you also have to make things spicy, right? And if you keep it spicy throughout, then it's not weird, right? If you let's say you have sex with your husband or your wife or whoever, like once a month, because you've been together forever, then you try to do role play or something different, and your partner's like, what the fuck are you doing? Because you haven't done that forever, and you didn't have a conversation with them about it, so you catch them off guard. This is weird. So for one, be who you are fully, unapologetically, and don't try to pretend to be somebody else.
Mic drop.
Give a good impression, but be you. Because if that person doesn't like you, you're not going to like them. And you shouldn't be together. It's not that you're bad and they're good, or they're good and you're bad, or whatever. It's just that you're different and you're not compatible. So be you. Mm-hmm. That's it. That's all I got.
I love it. It's so true. You guys, you have to commit, and then you have to commit every day. And the same goes for your weight loss, and the same goes for your money. Every day you start at 0, and that's why I don't care if you weigh 200 pounds, I don't care if you weigh 150, I don't care if you're jacked, I don't care if you're overweight. We're all in the same fucking boat, you guys. You have to commit and you have to recommit. And the more consistent you are with recommitting, the closer you are to living your perfect life, right? It's not a matter of when I will then. It's every day I will, and over time it will be. That's how it works. You guys, tomorrow, guest interview day, we will be interviewing the winner of the third Raw Transformation, okay? She's going to be sharing an incredible story.
She's in the room.
She is in the room.
Here.
She's still here. Ashley, you absolutely crushed it. And, when I reached out to her, she's like, oh my gosh, I don't know. But here's the thing, you guys. When you do something along with 40 other people and you achieve something remarkable, then it doesn't happen by accident, right? It's because you had to overcome some shit.
And you deserve to be celebrated and recognized. Mm-hmm. And have the opportunity to inspire other people with what you've learned and what you've accomplished.
Yep, exactly.
Even if you're still on the journey.
Because everybody loves to see the before and afters, right? But the better befores and afters means that that person had to sacrifice more. And she did. So, it's going to inspire a lot of people. Join us tomorrow because, for one, show Ashley the love that she deserves, right? Because she deserves it. And for two, there's going to be a lot to learn from her. It doesn't matter where you're at in your journey, where she's at in her journey. The lessons are applied to everybody. Mm-hmm. Okay? So remember, guest interviews are at 6 a.m. We will catch you tomorrow on Zoom at 6 a.m. Take care, you guys. I hope you have a beautiful day.
Bye.
Bye.